What's going on, guys? I'm RSB and welcome to a snapshot update. This is going to be the first snapshot update that I have done. I'm on the Bedrock edition and hopefully I'll be following along as the updates come out to keep you guys up to date on what's going on with the latest and greatest. Everybody's so eager to see the Caves and Cliff update, and I'm right on the bandwagon as well, watching Mojang take some serious time. I think everybody's on the edge of their seat waiting for this thing to actually be released, but Mojang has taken some time to make sure that they do a good job, and with the snapshot updates that they're releasing, that definitely reflects that they are doing an amazing job. So let's go over some of the changelog today and see what exactly we have that's on Bedrock now. One thing to note, we do not have any cave generation on Bedrock yet. Hopefully this will change soon with updates, but we do have some new mountain generation and it looks phenomenal. So I'm going to briefly go over some of the past stuff that we got added, and then I'll get into the mountain update. So the first thing to note is we have some ore texture changes. These ore texture changes will probably not be final, but it's hard to say. We have our newest addition here, copper to the game. The iron ore has been changed up, along with many of the other ores. I think the only ore that they have not changed up is the classic diamond ore. And with how popular this diamond ore has become, I don't look for this to change anytime soon. However, it is nice that they have multiple different textures now available instead of copying and pasting the same ore from one ore to the next. The next thing that I want to go over is we have some of the copper blocks added into the game. I don't think that we have all of them yet, but we do have a good portion of them. We have these here, which are the copper block, the exposed copper block, the weather copper block, and the oxidized copper block. Now these copper blocks are all the same block. These are just different stages of their life. These will start to tarnish the longer that they are out inside of the elements. The way that you can keep these from tarnishing is using beeswax and covering them. That's going to protect them from the environment, and it's basically going to lock them in whatever state they are currently in. So that's going to add another really cool function to having bees in your world, to be able to use these and lock these in whatever state that you would like. These are some really cool blocks, and they're really going to add to a lot of our template for building. I'm really excited to be using these. These are going to come in different shapes and sizes. This one here, we have a cut copper block. These are going to be cut copper block stairs, and these are going to be cut copper slabs. Hopefully they'll add some different textures in, not before too long, but that's what we have here. Moving on, we have the lightning rod that we recently had added. This I've really been eager to have updated to the game because this is going to make our ability to make a automated charged creeper farm a lot easier. So that's really exciting. There is some things that's pretty neat about it, and it is also something else that you can use to add to your template for building. You can use this lightning rod in all different kind of build styles. The lightning rod, to demonstrate, let's go ahead. And using a channeling trident, we can get lightning to actually strike these. So you can see, whichever one I hit with the channeling trident is where the lightning actually strikes. Now what's really interesting about this is if there's animals near, the lightning rod will attract the lightning instead of your animals getting struck. So this is another really cool function of it. Another function that's really cool and can be useful is the fact that these put out a redstone signal. Now you can see I have all of these going into this solid copper block and then this redstone line coming out of it, and when lightning strikes it, oddly enough, it doesn't put out a redstone signal. I don't know if this is going to be changed in future updates, but as of right now, it will not put out a redstone signal if you have the redstone coming out of the copper block. However, if you have the redstone dust coming out of the lightning rod itself, then it will put the signal out, and you can see every time lightning strikes it, you get a Redstone Signal output. So that's a pretty useful mechanic added to the game, and I think it's a really long overdue welcome one. The biggest thing with the lightning rod that a lot of people is excited with is the ability to build an entire wooden house and no longer having to worry about the lightning striking it and burning it to the ground. This lightning rod will keep all of the lightning from hitting your roof and make you not have to worry about when the next lightning strike is going to hit your roof. So that's a really nice function to the game. Moving on next, I don't know if you've noticed, but I have a goat horn inside of my inventory. This goat horn has absolutely no use as of yet. I suppose you could use it as a shovel if you'd like, but as of right yet, there has not been anything implemented into the game that gives this a use. So we'll wait for future updates to see what exactly this goat horn is about and what it's going to be used for. Moving on, we have these other items here, which most of these have been covered time and time again on YouTube with different videos. So I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail with them. The skull sensor, you can see every time you move, it's going to pick up a sound. If you place down a block, it will pick up the sound. If you break a block, it's going to pick up that sound. So it's a really nice added redstone feature, and it's going to open up a lot of possibilities for building, especially if you're somebody that really likes redstone like me. This does have the ability to have the sound blocked in whatever direction you would like using wool around it. So that's another nice feature that you can kind of aim this thing where you want the sound coming from. Or if you want to make this to where you can turn it on and off, then you could make movable wool all around it. So that's really handy. The next things that we have added into the game is going to be this dripstone block, and then also we're going to have the pointed dripstone, which is really nice. These you can just place down on the blocks, or if you have one that is hanging, you can place them like that as well. And whenever you break that block, they're going to fall down with gravity. These, whenever you place them, with this update, I don't know if this is how it's always going to be, but you can add as many as you would like on these, and they will continue to grow. And then whenever you break them off, they will fall. These on the bottom, you can virtually go as high as you want with them. Again, I don't know if this is how it's going to stay in the game, or if it's just how it's meant to be, or if it's going to be changed with future updates. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. It does kind of have a scaffolding falling animation. And then we do also have the powdered snow as well that's been added to the game. This is going to give us a lot more use with our leather boots, because if you are wearing leather boots, you are going to be able to walk on this and not freeze. However, to demonstrate, let me put this in survival real quick. And you can see walking into the powdered snow on survival, I'm not freezing. And if I have my leather boots on, I can jump on top of it without falling into it, which is a really nice feature. However, if I take off my leather boots, I'm going to sink down into it. And then eventually, I'm going to start freezing, as you can see the frost around my screen. And I'm just going to get out of that so I don't die. It also gives you a kind of odd field of view change as well. Since we covered everything here, let's go ahead and start covering what you guys came here to see. Now, I'm going to walk into here, that way you can slowly see this render in, that way you kind of get the perspective that I do. I have messed around inside of this world a little bit. As you can see, I'm really far from my home spawn base. This is a creative world that I made just in the beta, just to kind of mess around, but I did have to travel quite a ways to find these mountains. I don't know if they're going to be a lot more plentiful after future updates, but as of this update here, you do have to kind of teleport around and search around for them a little bit. So, let's go and take a look at this after I change the weather back into clear so we can see. And hopefully you're just as blown away as I am. Alright, so let's take a look. I understand that watching this through a beta doesn't quite do this justice because, well, it didn't do me justice either until I actually came into the beta and tested it out for myself. If you want to try to do the beta yourself, I, however, am on Xbox One console. You can do that. I believe the Android phones can do it, and also the Windows 10 edition, I believe, have access to the betas. So if you want to do that, just do a quick Google search, how to load in the beta, and it should be fairly simple for you to go ahead and re-download the beta and get loaded in, where you can jump on the world just like I have and explore it a little bit. But to look at this and say that I am impressed would just be an understatement. Just the time that they have put into this, totally changing the landscape, the textures, the curves. It blows my mind how much they have actually added to this. Now, if you notice my middle number on the Y coordinate, I'm still going up. These mountains are going to go all the way up to as high as 256 on the build chart, which means that the build heights have been raised. The build height now goes up to 320 blocks, so if you want to go all the way up to 256 and build something on the very peak of the mountain, you can do that. That being said, the caves have not been added in here yet. We still have normal ground levels underneath the ground, but hopefully in future updates we'll gain access and we'll cover those caves as well. From what I've seen, it's really exciting and really interesting, the type of things that they are doing. It is unlike Minecraft has ever been before, and I just cannot wait. Going over these mountains a little bit more, we could see some ore generation on the side. Just like that. There's ore generation here, iron ore, emerald ore. Let's see if we can't find anything else. We got some coal ore here. Now I am going to put a ore generation chart on screen so you can see the ore generation, because the entire ore generation chart has been changed, and they are changing it to add a lot more skill to the mining process. That way you just can't go down to level 0 and mine for every ore possible. But you can really look at this and see just how much time Mojang has put into this to get it right, and it really blows my mind. I'm also very happy with the added touches of the ice up here on the mountain. It will be really neat to be able to come up here and harvest some packed ice. Some of the really cool touches is them placing the ice in here, the packed ice. So it'd be really cool to have a lot more options in finding the ice. And it really gives the mountains just a really cool natural look. These are all covered with the snow and also the powdered snow. And we also have the addition of these guys, the mountain goats. These guys are really going to add a new aspect to the mountain terrain, because you never know when you're going to be hiking and have one of these guys come up behind you and knock you off the side of the cliff. And I'm also eager to see what their horns are going to be used for. To give you guys an idea of just how massive these things are, I mean, look at the image in front of you. It's just unlike anything Minecraft has ever done before. I mean, standing on a peak and just looking around, it's just phenomenal, the view that you're going to get with these new terrain structures added to the game. It's just incredible to see all of the work and detail that they put into these, and I cannot wait for these to be a regular part of our survival experience. I really hope that you guys liked and enjoyed this update video showing the mountain terrain that is coming to Bedrock. I can't wait to see what the caves are going to bring us. The goal of this video was to give you guys a really good fly around perspective to see the different types of the mountain biomes and the different terrain generations that the mountains are going to bring us into our new worlds. I hope you guys were able to get a really good perspective and a fly around atmosphere. I hope you guys are just as excited as I am to see these new updates, and look forward to seeing what Mojang brings us in the future. If you love this video, then please go ahead and hit that like button, and if you want to follow along as I upload and review the latest releases, then please hit that subscribe button, and be sure to hit that bell notification. That way you get notifications on every time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.